I've got something today that I think is both science and hope all wrapped together. And it's the idea that your brain is not fixed. And so, if you've ever struggled with anxiety or depression or habits that you feel like you can't break, you need to hear this episode because here's the truth. Your brain can change. It can rewire itself. It can literally reshape itself to work for you instead of against you. And today we're diving into the idea of neuroplasticity, how that works, and how you can use it to create peace, joy, and better habits in your life. Hey everybody, welcome to Living Imperfectly Perfect. I'm Robin Fan Fitzgerald, a cognitive behavioral therapist, life coach, and someone who's spent years trying to be perfect and failing a bunch. Through biblical truths and practical tools, I've helped men and women break free from anxiety, depression, and unfulfilled dreams and start walking in their abundant life. And now, I want to help you. So slip on your fuzzy socks, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and take a deep breath. You're in a safe space where grace wins, truth heals, and it's more than okay to live imperfectly perfect. Hey, my friend, and thank you for joining me for Living Imperfectly Perfect. Today, we're talking about an exciting idea, and that's the idea of neuroplasticity, which means your brain's ability to change itself. I believe is kind of like having science and hope all rolled up together as one, because what it means is if you're not living the abundant life that you want to see, maybe because you're in anxiety, depression, maybe because you have bad habits, your brain has the ability to form new neural pathways and it can change. And I feel like that is so exciting. So if you have in the past been in anxiety, depression, or fear, then a lot of times you begin to feel like that's your identity. Maybe you've even said it. Maybe you've said, this is just who I am. Well, that is not the truth. That might be the pathways that your brain has created, but that is not who you are. And those neural pathways can be changed. And today we're going to talk about how to do that. And this idea is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, a big word. I hope I don't mess it up today. I might. So let's talk about the three areas that sometimes we have trouble in. The first one, of course, is anxiety. And that constant worrying makes it feel like your brain is in a loop, doesn't it? And when we constantly worry, that worry strengthens the danger pathways. It's kind of like a fire alarm that goes off, but there is no fire. You could also think about it as an overactive fight or flight response. But when you practice intentionally pausing, stopping that fear cycle, stopping that worry thought, and you stop and you begin to breathe deeply and you bring yourself into the present moment, then you begin to teach your brain a different way, a different response, a different way of acting. And you show it that you're safe. And over time, as you're doing that, it can create new neural pathways that will help you leave that anxiety and start walking on your pathway to your abundant life. Second area, let's talk about depression for a second. Depression can often feel like you're stuck in quicksand, can it? And you get into this loop of hopelessness and worthlessness, and maybe you've even said, I don't know if all this is even worth it, or I don't even know why I'm here. Maybe you've had those thoughts. Well, these loops aren't random. They're pathways that have been You've been practicing over and over, and your brain has formed these grooves. But the positive thing is, just as you form those negative grooves, you can form positive ones. And something as small as just writing down 3 things you're grateful for can help you rewire your brain and help your brain learn to start focusing on the positive instead of the negative. Stop focusing on danger and despair and start focusing on the good things of life. Now, I know this is not easy, especially when you're in the middle of depression. Sometimes it's really hard, but you do have the ability to do this. And just taking one small step can get you started on that pathway. Third thing we want to talk about today is, and I think we all have them. We have bad habits sometimes, don't we? And that's all a wiring issue too. Habits live in a part of your brain that runs on automation, and your brain doesn't care if your habits are good or bad. It's just going to keep running automatically what you put into it. That's why habits seem so stubborn. And maybe you've thought, I'm just weak. I can't stop this. It's not that you're weak. It's that your brain is really strong and it's really good at this automation process. And so what we need to do is not erase the habit. Have you ever tried to erase a habit? Like maybe you've been like, I'm going to quit smoking. And that lasts for like 2 hours or 2 months, maybe, if you're lucky. Some of you are like, I've been doing it for years. And sometimes that does work, but usually it doesn't, because we don't need to erase the habit. We need to replace the habit. Let me say that one more time. We don't erase the bad habit. We replace the bad habit. So, for example, if your trigger is stress and your bad habit is you eat junk food all the time when you're stressed, you need to replace that junk food with something that is positive for you. Maybe it's drinking water, or going out for a walk, or calling a friend. You replace that negative habit with a positive habit, and those positive neural pathways start getting deeper and deeper the more you practice it, and the negative habits begin to get erased, get weaker and weaker the more you practice it. So remember, we're not going to erase the bad habits. We're going to replace our bad habits. So here's what matters. You are not stuck. Your anxiety is not permanent. Your depression is not your identity. Your bad habit is not just who you are. You have the ability to change those neural pathways with this thing we're talking about today, your brain's ability to be neuroplastic, this neuroplasticity. You have the ability to change it and begin to choose the life that you want to live based on choosing the right route, the right path in your brain, the positive or the negative one. I'm going to give you, when I counsel or life coach, I always give tools, and I call it your counseling or life coaching toolkit. So I'm going to give you 5 tools for your counseling or life coach toolkit. So the first one to help change this is, I call it meditation. You can call it mindfulness or breathing. It's all kind of grouped into one. What I'd like for you to do is take 3 to 5 minutes every day. I'm going to quickly tell you a mindful meditation that I use, but you can just call it mindfulness or breathing. And that's, you relax your body, you begin to breathe deeply from your stomach, and you begin to turn your thoughts to focus on your breath. And when you do that, it begins to form new neural pathways for your peace. So number 1 in your toolkit is mindfulness, breathing, or if you want to call it meditation. Number 1, I do that every day for at least 30 minutes. Number 2 for your toolkit is a gratitude practice. You can do lots of things. for a gratitude practice, but I'm going to give you an easy one. And that's every morning, I want you to write 3 things down that you're grateful for. Just that act, just the act of gratefulness, writing 3 things down can create new pathways. And pretty soon your brain will start scanning for positive things rather than being stuck in a negative loop. So, number 1, mindfulness, breathing. Number 2, gratitude practice. Number 3, move your body. This is my favorite one. Exercise is more than just for your health. Exercise actually releases positive chemicals into your body, and this is the cool part, y'all. It starts building, it actually grows new neurons. So exercise greatly helps mental health. And exercise doesn't have to be something laborious. Is that a word? I think it is. It doesn't have to be something that's a lot of labor. It can be something fun you love to do. That's why I dance. You can walk. You don't have to go to a gym to do it. Walk outside your house. Walk through your house. Just move your body in whatever way you can, because exercise really does help. That was number 3. Number 4 is replace, don't erase. We just talked about that. When you want to break a bad habit, swap it with something positive. Then number 5 is repetition, and that's really the key to everything. What you repeat is what your brain is going to form that path with. So you want to repeat the positive so that you get that good, positive neural pathway toward your abundant life. And the more consistent you are, the stronger that pathway becomes. So I want to encourage you. This change is not going to happen overnight. It's kind of like going to a gym. You can't start off by curling the 100-pound weights. You have to start with the small weights, be consistent, and you see your muscles grow more and more. And the same is true for that. Start small. Do one little step per day, but be consistent with that routine. And pretty soon you will see your brain changing, and you will see your path becoming positive. You leave the depression, the anxiety, the bad habits, and you'll start walking towards your abundant life. And that is neuroplasticity in action. So this is the takeaway. What fires together, wires together. So your past doesn't define you. Your brain can heal, it can change, and it can grow. And you can walk in more joy and peace and happiness. And part of it is you making the choice, being aware. Now you're aware how to do this, being aware of how to get on your path to your abundant life. So you are not your past. You don't have to be stuck in anxiety. Your identity is not depression. You are not your bad habits. You can change, and you can build new neural pathways and start your brain on the path to positives. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to, if you didn't write down those 5 tools for your toolkit, I want you to rewind this episode, write it down on a piece of paper, and I want you to consistently start the small steps of doing at least one of those per day. That will get you walking on your path. So if this episode, our time's up, but if this episode was meaningful for you, if you know someone who you feel like is stuck, share this episode with them. My son always talks about healing the world, taking the first step to help others. And you can heal the world sometimes just by sharing good content with them, content that's going to be helpful. We all want to heal our neighbors, so we'll be healed ourselves. So share this if you know someone who can use it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, you're one thought, one action, one day at a time, and you are rewiring your brain to walk in your abundant life. Also remember, I'm with you, I'm for you, and I love you. Thank you, my friend, for spending a few minutes with me today. Remember, you don't have to earn God's favor, chase perfection, or carry it all alone. You are God's masterpiece. You are His righteousness, and you are already enough in Him. So, keep walking forward one grace-filled step at a time, and I'll meet you right back here next time for Living Imperfectly Perfect. So bye for now, and you are going to have a really great day. I just know it.